10 minuti. Chiudi, chiudi, dai. Ci scaldiamo un po' questa capanna.
In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage Livestream.
È vero.
Che non faccio in tempo,
Sono già le ultime due. Non ho toccato neanche. Però Camilleri aveva fatto un bel discorso l'altra volta. Cioè, mi sembra bello strutturatino. Cioè, non solo dei ringraziamenti. Beh, dopo è Mattia. Era perché non ne poteva più di tenerla così. Era perché non ne poteva più di tenerla così. Era perché non ne poteva più di tenerla così.
Per qualcuno una linea è solo l'unione di una serie di punti, capace di collegare due estremi, ma a noi, fedeli alla nostra visione, per qualcuno una linea è solo l'unione di una serie di punti, capace di collegare due estremi, ma a noi, fedeli alla nostra visione, per qualcuno una linea è solo l'unione di una serie di punti, capricciare, di entusiasmare, persino di far sognare. Per noi, popolo di viaggiatori, una linea non definisce un confine, ma piuttosto la misura di quanto avanti, di entusiasmare, persino di far sognare. La nostra linea ha il colore della passione e del cuore e disegna le forme di ciò che crea emozione.
Un cordiale buonasera da Reggio Emilia. Non mi trovo al teatro Romolo Valli, bensì a poche centinaia di metri in un luogo nel quale è stata scritta una pagina importante della storia d'Italia. Sono infatti all'interno della Sala del Tricolore nel municipio di Reggio Emilia ed è qui, proprio in questa stanza, che il 7 gennaio 1797
on the 7th of January 1797, the green, white and red flag was conceived, then adapted to signify
fianco a me potete vedere il
in
primo stendardo
1861.
tricolore
And this
mai
is the first
realizzato.
three-color
E ci è
flag
sembrato
ever
fondamentale dare il là
developed,
a questo
and
luogo
we
così
thought
significativo
it was
al
very
lancio della nostra nuova
good
monoposto
to
nata
start
a
the
Maranello. Passo
unveiling
dunque la linea al
of the
Teatro Romolo Valli.
new single
Signore e
theatre born in
signori,
Maranello from
mettetevi
this
comodi
place,
e godetevi lo
and
spettacolo.
now directly live from the Romolo Valley Theatre.
e signori,
Ladies and
buonasera
gentlemen,
e
good
benvenuti.
evening and welcome.
È un vero
It
onore
is
essere
a
con voi nel
real
palco
pleasure and
per
honor for me to
presentare la
be
nuova nata
with you
della
on
scuderia
stage
Ferrari.
to unveil the new
Ma prima
Scuderia
vorrei
Ferrari
presentarvi
racing
chi
car.
mi accompagnerà
But
in questo
before
viaggio,
anything else, let
Silvia
me introduce my
Frangipane-Hofer.
co-host, Silvia Frangipane-Hofer.
Buonasera Mark.
Good evening, Mark. Good evening, everybody.
È una grande emozione.
It is a great emotion for me to share the stage with you in this beautiful venue. We're broadcasting live on TV, on the giant screens of the squares connected to us and live streaming globally.
Un saluto internazionale. But before we do so, I guess my colleague doesn't need any introduction, but just in case, ladies and gentlemen, Marc Gené.
Grazie Silvia.
So it's a huge honor for me to be sharing this stage with you tonight. As I said, a warm welcome, of course, also goes to everyone who's watching us from home, from live streaming, on television. Un evento veramente speciale e una
A really special event and a very special venue. This Romolo Valli Theatre in Reggio Emilia was opened officially in 1857, and it is a valuable piece of neoclassic architecture and an excellent one. And talking about history, if you allow me, Silvia, let me add that it was here in Reggio Emilia where the Italian national flag was conceived, the tricolour flag. At Ferrari, we chose this place to pay homage to the Italian origins of Ferrari.
Now it's time to proceed with our presentation. However, before we do so, let me welcome our chairman, John Elkann. And our Vice President, Piero Ferrari. Buonasera. And now, let me invite on stage our Chief Executive Officer, Louis Camilleri. Good evening, youth.
Good evening.
All yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Mark. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this amazing place. I want to welcome a number of special guests. We'll start with the authorities and officials who are here with us tonight. And I want to especially thank those from this magnificent town who made this event possible in this theatre. I also need to thank our partners who share our values, who are all here. And honestly, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without their help and support. Present with us also are the members of the media who are up in the noseblood section. And they, as you all know, watch our every move and report upon them, our frowns, and hopefully a lot of our smiles. But what gives me great joy is to tell you that, first of all, the senior management team of Ferrari is here in the front rows, but also, very importantly, there are some 350 women and men who work in the racing department, and they're all here. They work tirelessly to develop and create a car that will meet our ambitions. 40 of those have worked loyally for the team for more than 35 years each. If my calculation's right, that's 1,400 years. So most of you do not know them. They are our unsung heroes, and a lot of them are shy, but I want them all to stand up and to receive the warm applause that they all deserve. so stand up. Yes. Thank you. I told you they were shy. Half of them stood up. So we're all here collectively because we all share a passion with millions of other people for the prancing horse. And we're all attracted by the exhilarating emotions that only Ferrari can generate or trigger. And in many ways, it has this magical appeal which is as powerful as it is difficult to describe. We all at Ferrari, and the team in particular, are very conscious of the huge responsibilities that lie on our shoulders. And we clearly are very focused on the ultimate goal, which is victory. And I believe that we have the talent and the determination to meet those ambitions, our ambitions as well as yours. With responsibility comes a lot of pressure, and we view that pressure in a positive manner because it has the effect of uniting us and also inspiring us to do ever better. And I can assure you that we are more demanding on ourselves than anybody else could ever be. As we look to this year, clearly it's going to be an interesting year. We have tough competition, a long season, but it's also an important year because, as most of you know, in parallel, we have to create and develop a completely new car in line with the new regulations that will govern the Formula One in 2021 and beyond. So the team is going to be very, very busy. I believe, as I said, I have every confidence that we have the women and men, their creativity, their discipline, their determination, and above all, as I've said before, the work ethic they have, which is the hallmark of this company and one which has been instilled upon us by our founder, Enzo Ferrari. I think Mattia and his team are doing a great job, and we look forward to successes going forward. But we're not just looking at this season or the next race. Time, in fact, is our enemy. Think about it. We spend days, nights, weeks, months to gain tenths of a second or hundredths of a second. And therefore, we are very much focused on the long term, and that is exactly what Mattia is doing. I have a great respect for his leadership skills and the way he's instilling a team spirit and a culture that will make us ever stronger and ever more successful. And of course, we have Sebastian and Charles, who we count on. It will be their second season together. And other than their incredible talent, we know that they share a passion and pride for Ferrari and are loyal to Ferrari. It leads me to thank everybody who was involved in organizing this event. There are a lot of them, so thank you, and I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
emozionante questo. Grazie, grazie. Una performance che rappresenta al meglio
a great
i valori della
performance
Ferrari,
which best
innovazione,
stages the
lavoro
values
di
of
squadra,
Ferrari: innovation,
storia,
work,
forza,
history, strength,
prestazione e
performance,
soprattutto
and above all,
emozione.
emotions.
Erano infatti i bravissimi performer del gruppo, della compagnia Liberi D.
Liberi D is the company that our performers belong to. I'd like to thank those that are playing instruments for us, thanks to the youth orchestra of the Reggio Emilia Conservatory.
E vorrei quindi
I'd like to highlight that most of the music we will be listening to this evening was put together on purpose by mixing classical music and modern music. It was our DJ, Benny Benassi, that made all this possible. And Maestro Leonardo De Amicis, special music for us.
Fatta appunto appositamente per noi.
Music specially put together for us. And now the time has come to call on stage the leader of this united team, the team principal of Scuderia Ferrari, Mattia Binotto.
Ciao.
Hello. Good evening, Mattia. Good evening, everybody.
Mattia,
it's an important moment. What does this car launch mean to you? Well, presenting a new car is always an emotion. And talking about emotions, I'd like to mention a sentence that our founder, Enzo Ferrari, used to say. Ask a child to draw a car. Certainly he will draw it red. This emotion is the one we feel in Maranello every time we think of a new car, every time we design it, we conceive it, we develop it, we take it to the wind tunnel, to the test benches. It's the same emotion that we feel when we produce it and assemble it. And after 1 year of designing and developing the car, we will unveil it tonight to all the world. And this year we will have two very important events to celebrate, the 70 years of Formula One and then the 1000th Grand Prix for Scuderia Ferrari. It's a very special year, actually, 70 years of Formula One and the 1000th Grand Prix for Ferrari. Ferrari has always been there since the beginning of Formula One. Whenever it missed 1 year, we are the team winning the most, the one that has always been there and actually reaching 1,000 GPs is a very special thing, somehow amazing and incredible. We are certainly proud of this. Competition is part of our DNA. Ferrari has always been there. It will always be part of Formula One, also looking at the future, starting from 2021 onwards. A single-seater is like the tip of an iceberg. There's a small visible part which hides an enormous work behind all this. Yes, this is the 66th single-seater built in Scuderia Ferrari. It's the result of great work, sacrifice, commitment, sometimes difficulties, challenges, efforts and passion. These are all values of our hashtag, Essere Ferrari, being Ferrari. It's a special year for team. As our CEO said, we will have to start developing also the car for 2021. Group is still young. We still have to grow. We have to learn from our mistakes. We have to capitalize on this. We have to concentrate on reliability, which was one of the weak points last season. And then we have at the same time the 2021 project that started out very powerfully. It's an epoch-making challenge. It's the greatest change that has ever occurred in Formula One since the beginning. We will have to be ready for this.
We'll be speaking with you very soon, but now time has come, time we've all been waiting for. So here comes, ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 Formula One contender from Scuderia Ferrari.
Wow,
Che bella.
che emozioni.
What a great
È sempre
emotion,
molto
beautiful. It's always very
unico presentare
special.
una
It's
Formula 1, ma
unique
farlo in un posto
to
così mitico.
launch
come
a
un teatro,
Formula One
mi fa
car,
venire
but
dei
doing
brividi,
so
per
in
cui
such a
sono
unique
molto,
venue
molto
as a
emozionato.
theatre gives me shivers. It's a great emotion. Yes, it's fantastic. But at this point, let's call on stage the two protagonists of the coming Ferrari season. Together with Mattia, let's welcome up here the two drivers, Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc.
Good evening. The kissing later, otherwise you're going to spoil all my makeup. Now, guys, good to see you, good to see you. We'll be asking you to wait just a couple of seconds because we turn to Mattia now. Quindi Mattia, it's amazing, we've seen it. Now, we need you to tell us a little bit more about what goes on in the SF1000 under the skin.
Sì, let's start from the name as first, SF1000. Obviously, we just mentioned before 1000 Grand Prix for Scuderia Ferrari. It's a great achievement, so it was, I think, we believe it was right to celebrate the season with that name. What can we tell us, or what can I tell you about the car itself? Certainly the regulations have remained stable, so difficult really to transform completely the car. The starting point of that car is the one of last year, is the SF90. But certainly we have been all extreme on all the concepts as much as we could. We developed the car, tried to look for the maximum aero performance as first, trying to maximize the downforce level. So the entire car, the monocoque, the power unit layout, the gearbox has been really packaged in a way to have a very narrow and slim body shape. I think that it's quite visible on it. We worked on all the components, the suspension. The suspension has been designed to have greater flexibility when being on the racetrack for the setup, having obviously trying to adapt the setup to whatever best suits to drivers, whatever is the circuit. We put a lot of effort to keep the weight down. We worked a lot on the power unit, not only for packaging, but we work on each single component, tried obviously to, as first, to improve the performance, but to cope as well with a change in technical directions, technical regulations, where the oil consumption will be reduced by 50%. So obviously it may look very similar to last year, but believe me, it's very completely different to the one of last year, and a lot of concepts are very extreme on that car.
Thank you, Mattia. And now to you, Sebastian. How do you like your new car, and how do you like presenting the car in such a special place?
Thank you. Well, good evening. I think, as Mattia touched on, I think it's an incredible achievement. Obviously, a lot of hours that go into the car. I like it a lot. I think we had the opportunity to obviously see it a little bit before, and to have also a direct comparison with last year's car, and you can really spot the differences, especially when it comes to packaging and the back part of the car. Everything sits a lot tighter, so there's a lot of work behind that, because it's not so easy. So we found some clever solutions to be able to achieve that. I can't wait to drive it, because obviously that's more exciting than looking at it. So one more week to wait, but I think it's fantastic. It's also a little bit more red than last year, so I think it looks great.
Thank you, Sebastian. Adesso in italiano.
We'll switch to Italian. Well, you've been in Maranello for some seasons. You also speak Italian very well. Even if you don't know, he speaks Italian very well. I'd like to ask you whether you have somehow become a bit of Italian now. Maybe people don't know. Well, I feel Italian a little bit. I have a lot of Italian food inside myself. I like people, I like culture, food in Italy, but above all, I have a great passion for Ferrari, for the red cars. And I believe that Ferrari has written a major part of the Italian history. At least this is what I believe. So we can say, Sebastian, that your favorite dish is no longer schnitzel, but tortellini. Well, tortellini, yes, but I also like eating schnitzel. Pasta wins over everything else.
So, Sebastian, there's a long new season ahead of all of us. If you look around the corner, if you look in a crystal ball, what do you see?
Well, it's impossible to predict, but I see, first of all, that as I think we touched on, there's a lot of hours that went into the car, a lot of effort. I think it is a step forward. I hope it will feel like that when I drive the car, but I can be sure of plenty of commitment from all the people that are here, part of the team, all the people and all the part of the team that's in Maranello, working right now as well to improve the car even further. So I think that's something we can rely on, we trust on. That's definitely something that I see if I had a crystal ball. But for the rest, I think that's also the part of the adventure is we have to be patient and have to wait.
Thank you, Seb. Charles, now to you. Good evening, first of all.
Good evening, everyone.
It's your second season with Ferrari. However, you know Ferrari very well because you've been part of the Ferrari Driver Academy for many years. We have also our Ferrari Driver Academy drivers here, and I want to congratulate them and congratulate the Academy for great achievements last season. So, well done, guys. And but how different it feels 12 months after, because you were here 12 months, not here, but in Maranello 12 months ago. You were not yet, haven't driven the car. Now you have one season behind you. How different do you feel this year?
The approach is a little bit different, just because now I know the team, I know more or less the car. Obviously this year it's a new car, but it's still an improvement of last year's car, so we've been working all together to make it better and to be more ready for this year. I know the people, so yeah, it's a good season. It's a big challenge, and I can't wait to drive the car.
Benissimo, parliamo l'italiano, visto che Charles, come
Let's switch to Italian again. Charles speaks a very good Italian. Behind you is a season which was certainly challenging and tough for you. So let's move on this side so that they can see us better also from home. Charles, how are you preparing yourself mentally and psychologically for such a tough season? Well, I'm prepared physically in the mountains to be fit, and psychologically my approach is very similar to the past seasons. I try and give my best. We worked hard with the team in order to develop the best possible car, and I've tried to learn from the past mistakes. I want to be a better pilot this year. I won't ask you about tortellini because I know you've always eaten them. I like them very much, but I have to lose some weight now, so I'll forget about tortellini for the time being. Very good.
So let's stay everybody on the stage. A questo punto, signore e signori, chiedo al nostro chairman.
At this point, I'd like to ask our chairman, John Elkann, to join us here on stage.
Buonasera.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for being here with us. We're really happy and honored to be here in Reggio Emilia in this wonderful venue to launch our new Ferrari single-seater. It's the first time we do so outside Maranello, outside Mugello. And we're all very proud to be here in this venue, which is symbolically so important for our country. Ferrari is proud of Italy. We are proud to represent Italy in the world. Ferrari SF 1000 is called 1000 because in this World Championship, Ferrari will run its 1000th Grand Prix. And if you look at the 70 years of Formula One, and Ferrari has been part of it since the beginning. We have raced 991 GPs and won 238 GPs. And in spite of all these victories, we're still eager to win in Ferrari. I'm looking at our colleagues who are sitting here this evening, and also our young colleagues from Ferrari Academy, because it's them who are always ready. They and our colleagues from Gestione Sportiva, they're full of passion and competence to allow us to reach top targets. We know that historically and still today, competition is very hard. But this has always given Ferrari a sense of strength, has set challenges to Ferrari, and has acted as a stimulus to do more and be stronger. I cannot actually mention one by one all the people belonging to Gestione Sportiva, the engineers, the mechanics, the workers, but I'd like to show gratitude to the various divisions and departments, the wind tunnel, mechanical components, production of composites, technical departments, chassis, engine assembly department, testing, and of course the team. We know that it's not just about being on track, but also outside the track. Actually, Ferrari performed at its best when it's been united in the Ferrari spirit. Actually, Ferrari has this sense of belonging. We do our best when we are together and work together for just one single goal. In Reggio Emilia, on the 7th of January 1797, the tricolour flag, the Italian flag, was conceived. So thinking of the flag being conceived in the Emilia-Romagna region and also Ferrari being born here, we believe that the best way of symbolizing this link is to show the flags. Piero Ferrari and also Luigi Camilleri should join us to show that this link is certainly very important for all of us. Piero Ferrari,
Grazie,
big round of applause. Thanks very much, Chairman.
E chiudiamo con
We'll close
la tradizionale foto di gruppo.
with the traditional group photo.
Benissimo, con questa foto, con questa immagine, a questo punto
Very good. At this point,
ringraziamo voi che ci avete
we would like to thank all of you for
ringraziamo chi da casa lo ha fatto,
listening to us from this wonderful theatre, from home, and also via the live streaming platform. I'd like to thank those that have watched us from the Ariosto Theatre, from the public squares. I'd like to thank those who make this event possible, the orchestra, players,
al nostro DJ e
our
al
DJ
nostro
and
dell'orchestra.
the director of the orchestra.
A tutti coloro che da lontano ci hanno fatto sentire il loro affetto.
I would like to thank all those who have supported us from far away.
Forza Ferrari.
and welcome to SF1000. All the best to Ferrari.
Nico, box, box, box. Too many problems with the car. Box, box, box. I would like